how narcissism works when it comes to the criminal justice system. So, I'm always here to give you real live examples also of either something I've seen or something I went through or something I've seen a friend or relative go through or even a neighbor. So, this is how narcissism works in the criminal justice system. And as a disclaimer, this is not being said to create racial division or anything like that. And this is not an attack on anyone that's white or black. But if you are not a narcissist, I don't care what race you are. Once I explain this to you, then you're going to completely get it. So, this is how narcissism works in the criminal justice system. The killing that just happened in Buffalo, New York, where the young white male that's 18 years old goes and Tops Foods and he kills 10 African American people or 10 black people, and he seriously injures 3 to 4 others. So, as far as we know, there's 10 people killed, 3 to 4 people seriously injured. So, this is how narcissism works in the criminal justice system. He's on camera because there's cameras in Tops Foods, there's witnesses. He's arrested at the scene. Okay, that's part of the narcissism too. Because if he would have been black, it would have been a 99.9% chance if a black person would have went and killed a bunch of white people and injured a bunch of white people, he probably wouldn't have made it down the street alive. Okay, so how the narcissism works in the criminal justice system is when it comes to the charges. So he kills 10 people, but he's charged initially with 1 count of murder. And let's not do this thing where if you're thinking this, well, they're just charging them with the smaller thing to add on the charges. No, when you're on camera, they got your weapons in hand and they arrest you on the scene, they can charge you with what you did initially in the very beginning. So you caught up, you on the scene, you done murdered 10 people and injured 4. He can be charged with 10 counts of murder, 4 counts of attempted murder, and some assault charges can also be added to that, along with weapons charges. He can be charged with so much right at the front line. Okay, so think about this. If it was your family, friend, or relative, and say 2 of those people you knew, but only 1 count of murder is being charged right now. So is he not being charged for the other murders? Like, what happened? So basically what that's saying is this is how it feels coming from an empathetic point of view, right? It feels like this. Well, only 1 person counted, because you can't group human beings together. Even conjoined twins. There's these famous white conjoined twins. I think one name is Ron. They're famous. They've been on the internet for many, many years. Those are still 2 people. Even twins that have, those conjoined twins have 2 legs, 2 heads. They don't have 4 legs. They just have 2. They have 2 heads. They have their own arms, their own heart, and all of that. Those are 2 people, even though they're born conjoined. Okay. So white and black society, when we see the 2 conjoined twins, we consider them 2 people. However, when you kill 10 people, it's 1 count of murder. What about the other people? So basically them freebies, that's what the narcissists in the criminal justice system are saying, that he got some freebies. So he got to get charged. So this is what they saying to this white male. And this is why, don't take offense to this. If this is the type of upbringing that narcissistic and narcissist white people teach their children, no wonder they grow up and do what they do. The same way with the gang members. The gang members, they just as well be white supremacists. Gang members shooting each other down left and right. So basically, the black gang members that shooting each other up, they're on the white supremacy side, if you ask me. All of them narcissists at the end of the day. But I'm specifically talking about the narcissists in the criminal justice system. You can't have a drop of empathy in you when you charge somebody with one count of murder after he's killed 10 people and injured 3 to 4 on camera. In those type of situations, you don't need to wait to charge him. So this is how this works. The people that are grieving over their relatives that have been murdered, right? They got to grieve over two things. Their relatives are murdered, their friends are murdered, their neighbors are murdered. However, which one was so special that got the one count of murder charge? So out of 10 people, there's only one charge or one count for murder. So which one of those 10 people was so special that they're the ones that is so valuable when they were murdered, if that charge is for them? So the other 9 people that are murdered and the other 3 to 4 people that were injured, they're not special enough for it to be a count or a charge. That is how narcissism works in the criminal justice system. And it also works like this. If you're black and you jaywalk and you get caught and you talk back to an officer, or the officer lies and says you did that, suddenly you got 10 charges on you. But originally, all you did was jaywalk. Now you got resisting arrest, violating a police officer rights, obstruction of justice, because you lied and said you didn't jaywalk. Somehow they can get 5 to 10 charges on a black man or woman. That's how narcissism works too. It's unfair. Narcissists are unfair. That is the bottom line. Whether they're white or black or Asian or Spanish, they're unfair. But that narcissism stays in that criminal justice system because all them white men keep that stuff going. And their karma is always going to be the way they white males grow up and shoot up these schools and shoot up these grocery stores. That's the karma, because they don't instill empathetic values in their white males. And the black race is not instilling enough values in the black race. That's why they growing up and joining gangs. Black men are not parenting their children. So that's the bottom line. You murder 10 people, but all for right now it's one count of murder. We'll add the other ones later, maybe. They ain't even bringing it up. They brought up there may be more charges. It should be more charges right now. Now, they did find that he got all them weapons from some full grown, they got 4 of them that they're going to be charging. That 18-year-old white male, them weapons and all that stuff he got, that body armor, that helmet and all them weapons, those came from 4 white males that are in their late 20s, 30s, maybe even 40s. One of them looked like he might have been 35 or 40. So they basically got that young white male, that 18-year-old boy, or young man to do that crime. Basically, they did the dirty work. They had somebody do the dirty work, rather. But it doesn't matter. All of them should be charged. The ones that talked him into doing it. And personally, I think he was paid to do it. I think those white males, the ones that gave him the guns, the 4 white males that they've caught so far that they're going to be charging, I think that they probably gave that 18-year-old boy a little money. He didn't get much because they didn't need to give him much because he's too brainwashed and filled with hate. And he's obviously narcissistic or a narcissist, or maybe even a sociopath or a psychopath. He could be much more than a narcissist. However, that's how the narcissist works in the criminal justice system. The narcissist, it goes deep. It's all in the court system. It's all in the legal system. And so just think about the pain. Put yourself in those shoes. If your friend, neighbor, or family member was murdered and the state decided to charge just 1 count of murder, a count is just like a count. It's 1. You get charged for 1 count of murder because you killed 1 person. You get charged for 2 counts of murder because you killed 2 people. That's just how that works. You at least get a minimum of 1 count of murder per person you killed. Those people are dead. But narcissists feel like he should have 1 count of murder. That's the way the system works. So be aware of the system, no matter your race. And that's how narcissism works in the criminal justice system when it comes to charges, y'all. I love y'all. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.